decade, living separately from my mother-in-law, who resides far away. Recently, I learned that she's retired and suffering from a debilitating backache, preventing her from working. Consequently, my husband has been diligently sending her money each month. "Hey, make sure to transfer this month's money to Mom," he asked. I assured him, "Sure, no problem. I won't forget, even if I forget everything else." "Thanks, that helps a lot. I appreciate it." My husband visits his mother at least once a month, assisting her with tasks she can no longer manage. However, on one occasion, he returned from her place agitated, suddenly accusing me. "What the hell have you done?" Perplexed by his sudden anger, I stared blankly as he continued accusing me. "All this time, I've been struggling to send her money, and you didn't care about my feelings. I told you to transfer $11,000 every month." "I did transfer it," I insisted. "I'm telling you it's not been transferred. Do you have any idea how hard it is to send that $11,000? He exclaimed. "I understand. I've had to take part-time jobs and scrape for money just for that," he retorted. "Knowing all that, why didn't you send it?" I defended. "I did send it. Why are you saying this?" "Just calm down a bit," I urged. "How can I be calm when Mom is troubled because she doesn't get the money from me and has even started doing piecework?" He explained, "But I definitely did send it." "Are you saying my mom is lying?" I questioned. "Then there's no way my mom would lie to me. You can't just make an assumption and then get mad when it's not true. I don't even know why this is happening. I've been sending her the money you give me every month. Then why is she doing piecework?" He insisted. "She's in pain lifting heavy boxes." "I don't know about that. I haven't seen it. You never go to my family home." "I go every month, but you never come with me." "You just don't care about my mom," he accused. "That's not true. There's no need for me to go every month, and it's so far away. I don't want to waste my only day off," I defended. "Waste your day off? It's visiting family. How can that be a waste?" He argued. "Well, that's your family. You wouldn't think twice about it, but you don't go to my family's house, do you?" I responded. "Of course not. You married into my family, but I didn't marry into yours. You shouldn't say things like that. It only causes trouble," he countered. "You're the one causing trouble," I muttered to myself, wondering if he even realized what he was saying. Frustrated, I tried to escape to the kitchen, but he followed me, still angry. "I'm not running away. I just want you to calm down. Maybe we should have a coffee and talk this through," I suggested. "I don't need that. Give me back all the money I've been giving you to send to my mom," he demanded. "Why are you saying that? I'm your wife of 10 years. I've never lied to you. You should just believe me when I say I've sent it," I pleaded. "I bet you've been spending my money. What do you buy? Where's the $1,000 going every month?" he accused. "If I had bought something, there'd be new things in the house, right? But there aren't. If it were clothes, there'd be new clothes, but there aren't. I haven't bought a single piece of jewelry since we got married. I don't understand why you're accusing me," I defended. "Even so, you must be using it for something, or maybe you're saving it for yourself, planning to leave me," he speculated. "Why would you even think of divorce?" "We have kids," I questioned, bewildered by the sudden turn in our conversation. "I would never entertain such thoughts. How am I supposed to know? I can't trust someone who lies like you. Why won't you understand that I've been sending the money to your mom?" "Then why isn't it reaching her?" "I have no idea," I admitted. "Could you be sending it to the wrong place?" "No way. I have your mom's bank account number registered with the bank. Unless she changes it, There's no way that could happen, I explained. Then the only thing I can think of is that you're stealing it. Stealing? Yeah, that's right. You're stealing my money, not sending it to my mom. That's it. I want a divorce. I can't be with a thief like you. Let's get divorced. It's clear you've been stealing the $1,000 meant for my mom every month, he insisted. Hold on. Why does it have to come to this? What about our kids? I don't care about the kids. I don't need a wife who makes my mom suffer. No matter how much I tried to have a rational conversation, my husband just couldn't stay calm. And to say he didn't care about our kids. I've been desperately trying to make him believe me, but it's been hours of getting nowhere. Then there's nothing else to be done. After 10 years together, thinking this, I quietly responded to his demand for divorce. All right, divorce it is. Kicked out by my husband, I left the house with our child. Make sure you file the divorce papers. Conveniently, he had already prepared the divorce papers, as if he knew this would happen. I never thought I'd have to sign something like this, but now there was no other choice. I left the house, went straight to the office to file the papers, and decided to stay at my parents' house for now. My child was shocked by the sudden turn of events, but all I could do was reassure them with empty words. It's going to be okay. Then, after settling down in a new place, I got a call from my ex-husband, Mark. Something weird is happening. Out of the blue, Mark started talking as if we were still married. What do you want with me? A stranger now? I know we're strangers. You call me suddenly, don't even ask about your child, and say something weird is happening. You sound much weirder, you know. Well, here's the thing. I've been sending the money to my mom myself, but she says it's not being transferred. Maybe you're not transferring it. That's impossible. I did it myself. I don't know about that. Maybe you're doing it unconsciously, or perhaps you only dreamed you did it. Don't compare me with you. Then don't call me. I'm not free to deal with this. You're working as usual, so you're free. How much more will he belittle me? He must think I'm just sitting around doing nothing. My bank statement shows I sent the money. The money's been withdrawn, but my mom says she didn't receive it. What do you think that means? Maybe you sent it to the wrong person. Then where did I send it? I don't know. Maybe you're giving it to some other woman. That's ridiculous. To me, it's ridiculous to even have this conversation, but Mark doesn't seem to think so. Anyway, I have nothing to do with it. Wait, that's too cold. You can't just cut ties so easily. I'm not cold. The moment you decided on divorce, you were out of my life. How can you cut ties so easily? A woman doesn't look back. What's the use of dwelling on the past? On you, it's a waste. I'm in trouble here, not my problem. Can't you at least listen to me? How utterly self-centered. All right then, start from the beginning. Tell me what's happening, and what's going on. Well, it was the day I said I wanted a divorce. Remember? I went to check on Mom at her house, right? I asked her why she was doing piecework, even though I sent her $1,000 every month. She said she hadn't received any transfers, so she had to do piecework to get by. Now I get it. That's why you were so angry, and you thought I was pocketing the money. Yeah, that's right. But even when you transferred it yourself, it didn't get there. Yeah, that's what's happening. So doesn't that mean it wasn't me? Well, I don't know about that. When you were in charge, maybe you were pocketing the money. That's awful. If that's what you think, then I'll go to your family's house myself. What are you going to do there? Maybe I'll find out something. If I go, yeah, maybe so. We ended up going to my husband's family house together for the first time in a while. When we got there, his sister was there. "Oh, why are you here, Selina?" "I came back because I'm worried about Mom." "What about your husband?" "We're divorced, just like Mark." "Oh, so you divorced and came back to your family home?" "Yes, I did." "When did you come back?" 6 months ago." 6 months. Never mind that. Mom, is it true that you didn't receive the money as sent? It's true. It doesn't change the fact that the money wasn't received, whether both of you are here or not. But did you print out your account record in your bank book lately? Yes, I did, just 2 days ago. Can I see the bank book? Sure, you can't show that. Why would you show a bank book to someone else? You're a stranger now. Why would you think she'd show you something so important? Are you out of your mind? But we can't know if the money really wasn't deposited unless we check. You don't need to see it then. Look. I'm her son. It shouldn't matter. Fine, look. There's hardly anything in there anyway. My mother-in-law said this and then fetched the bank book from a drawer in the next room. But when we looked at the bank book, there were deposits and withdrawals. Look, Mark. There's a deposit from you here, and it was withdrawn the next day. That's quite punctual. Before this, even if you deposited it, it wasn't withdrawn immediately. I couldn't go to the bank much because of my back pain. I would wait until it was absolutely necessary. But since Selina came back, she's been going to the bank for me, which has been a big help. Ever since Selina returned, she's been the one going to the bank. The money was always withdrawn the next day, according to the bank book. Mark and I instinctively looked at her. What? I don't know anything about this, she said desperately. But from what we see here, it looks like you withdrew it, Selina. Mom doesn't go to the bank, and maybe someone else has Mom's card and is withdrawing the money every month. I don't have a card. I'm afraid of losing it, so I never made one, she replied anxiously. Tell the truth, Selina, Mark urged. All right, it was me. Mom told me to withdraw the $1,000 she was getting each month. I saw it was being deposited every month, so I thought borrowing a little bit would be okay. If you're borrowing it, are you planning to pay it back? I interjected. I intend to pay it back. I just don't have the money for it right now, she confessed. Why would you do such a thing? Mark questioned. I really needed the money. I only borrowed it because I had to. Besides, Mom's managing to get by. Isn't that fine? Selina justified. Were you that desperate for money? His mother softened her tone and asked. Then Selina completely changed her tone from her previous assertiveness, now playing the role of a pitiful victim. If that's the case, it can't be helped. Mark was kind enough to send the money, but this is an unavoidable situation. Yeah, if sister was in trouble, it's the family's job to help after all, Mark reasoned. Despite his rage and accusations towards me, Mark forgave his sister as if nothing had happened. Hey, I was called a thief over this, and now you're just going to let it go because it's your sister. It can't be helped, she said. She's in trouble. That's fine for your money. But don't you have something to say to me? I challenged. Not really, no. Not even an apology after all the horrible things you said to me. Why should I apologize? I don't see any need to, Mark replied. I was hurt by what you said. I muttered to myself. Anyway, it's not like I did anything wrong, right? Selina was having a hard time, so this happened. It's not Mark's fault. He doesn't need to apologize. His mother supported. Isn't this just like being completely surrounded by enemies? Even if I speak the truth, this place is hostile territory. There's no doubt that anything I say will be met with opposition. Even though a quick look at the bank book would have clarified everything, I had to travel all this way just to be treated like this. Fine, if cutting ties with you costs me this much, it's a small price to pay. I'm leaving. Drive me to the station, I demanded. Why do I have to take you? We're divorced, remember. I don't have to do anything for you, a stranger, Mark retorted. Because I came all this way for you. You asked me for help, I argued. Did I? I don't remember asking you to come. I just wanted some advice. You came here on your own. You can leave on your own too, Mark snapped. That's right. You're not a couple anymore. Why should he take you? It makes sense for a husband, but not for a stranger, his mother added. No thank you or sorry for solving the issue. After spending 10 years with such a man, it felt like such a waste of time. Fine, I'll take a taxi. I don't need you, I declared, frustrated. I called the taxi and somehow managed to get home. As I arrived home, tears of frustration streamed down my face, and I swore never to listen to that man again. However, after a while, my husband called me. Maybe he had changed his mind and was about to apologize for what happened. Perhaps he explained that he had to act that way in front of his sister and mother. But my expectations were shattered. Can you lend me some money? He asked abruptly. Shouldn't you say something to me first? Oh, long time no see, I replied. That's not what I mean. You're being troublesome, you know. It's not normal to ask for money without even apologizing first, he insisted. That's not true. We were a married couple after all. You could say we were united by fate. That's not the case anymore. The day we split up, our united fate dissolved. I still think we're united by fate, though. He keeps saying whatever he wants. So lend me some money, will you? Why? The truth is I found out Selena has a huge debt. Wait, it's been quite a while since that day. Didn't you ask her what she spent the money on? I couldn't ask her that. It would have been too pitiful. Money is a delicate subject. Maybe her ex-husband had something to do with it, or there might be some other reason. Sure, there must be some reason. But you should have asked about it for the future, right? I trusted her because we're family, and yet there was no trust for me at all. Well, I've known Selena way longer than I've known you. Yeah, since we were born. That's why I trusted her. I thought everything would be fine. But in the end, it wasn't fine. So, what happened? It turns out she had a huge debt, and the $1,000 a month wasn't enough. How much does she need then? She wants to repay it all at once. It's true that paying it off in one go would save on interest, but I don't have that kind of savings. So why did you contact me? Because you said you had a good amount of savings when we were in the car going to your parents' house. I remember. I was insulted by him saying I must be struggling without money since our divorce, and that I would have stolen the money if he continued to ask me to make the transfers. Angered by his belittling words and the assumption that I couldn't survive on a part-time job, I ended up revealing that I was trading stocks and making a good profit. But would that lead to an ex-wife being asked for a loan? Selena says she's in debt for $30 million. $30 million? Yes, so please lend me the money. It's okay, right? First, why does she have such a huge debt? I was curious too, so I asked her. It turns out most of it was from shopping, and it's all brand items. She just can't control her desire when she sees them and ends up buying things. She put everything on revolving credit, so the interest adds up, and she keeps buying more every month. Before she knew it, her debt reached $30 million. She's really careless, Mark. Laughing off his carelessness is quite careless himself. She didn't understand how revolving credit works. She thought she could just pay a set amount each month, and eventually it would be paid off. I guess I can understand that feeling. I can't understand it at all. How could she take such a risk? And wasn't this the reason for her divorce? Now she finally realized the interest is piling up, and it's becoming a serious problem, so she came crying to me. But I don't have that kind of money. I told her I couldn't give more than $1,000 a month. Then she suggested borrowing from you. What? Why me? You said we were strangers, and you didn't even need to drive me to the station. That's all in the past. The past should be washed away like water under the bridge. What a selfish and convenient way of thinking. Would anyone accept that? So you could afford to lend it, right? Well, yes, I do have that much in savings. Then lend it to me. I just made a lot of money with stocks recently. So you win some, you lose some with stocks, right? Yeah, that makes sense. But didn't you say stocks were like gambling? Isn't it gambling? You always ridicule me for playing the stock market, calling it a gamble. Did I? When you wanted a divorce, you hurried to separate because you said having a wife who gambles on stocks would lead to trouble. I said that when I didn't know how much you had saved. So that's why you asked me how much I had that time. You ridiculed me, but then I mentioned I had savings. Well, yeah, I didn't expect you to have that much, but I'm glad I inquired. But even at that stage, you still dismissed it as gambling. Well, yeah, but let's not worry about it. I was foolish. All right, that's not all right. You are really cruel, and now you want money I saved for our child. You're worrying too much. Our child won't need that money for a long time. It's silly to start saving from now. Money rots if you don't use it. Money rots? I've never heard of money rotting. Think of this as an investment. It's like investing in me. Why would I invest in you? Just do it. Lending me the money would be the smartest move, right? Look, if I lend you money, it won't come back, right? You're still sending $1,000 a month to your mom. Where will you find the money to pay me back? All right, I'll pay back $1,000 a month. Are you crazy? How many years do you think it will take to repay it that way? Don't say that. I really regret it. Regret? Yeah, if we hadn't split up, I wouldn't have to beg you for money now. I have to ask, isn't that unjust? So you're just after my money? No, it's not like that. We don't have love, but we can rely on each other. It feels like I'm only being relied upon. You're so rigid. Thinking like that won't make you happy. We could even remarry. I didn't mind our marriage that much. Wow, I do mind. I don't want to be with someone who can't apologize. Fine, I apologize. Sorry. Is that good enough? What are you apologizing for? Explain in 400 characters or less what you did wrong. Ah, I just apologized because you said so. Pathetic. Don't ever call me again. Why? I apologized. So will you remarry me or help me? My sister is suffering. Shut up. Go to hell. Saying so, I forcefully ended the call and blocked his number. Later, I heard from mutual friends that Mark, despite saying it was impossible, couldn't refuse Selena. Being not only constantly nagged by Selena, but also persuaded by his mother to help, consequently, he ended up borrowing money from a consumer finance company to repay her debt in full. Everything was settled, assuming Selena would work and gradually repay the debt. They thought so. However, far from working, she resumed her shopping habits. Despite having suffered before, she again made purchases on revolving credit. This burden eventually fell directly upon Mark to handle. When they confronted her about why things turned out this way, she reportedly said, I never intended to buy anything. By the time I realized it, I had already processed the credit. Mark and his mother naively believing Selina's words just accepted it, saying she must be sick. They neither divided any solutions nor took her to a hospital, despite thinking she is ill. While saying this, Selina, wearing expensive clothes and jewelry, is reportedly laughing over tea with friends, saying, "Really, Mark is so easy to manipulate." Eventually, they couldn't escape the debt and had to sell their family home. Now, Mark, his mother, and Selina ended up living together, but they couldn't afford the rent for the apartment they used to live in, so the three of them moved. Apparently, their life is quite difficult now. It seems only Selina is enjoying it, but neither Mark nor his mother realized this. On the other hand, I continued to profit from the stock market and now live a comfortable life in a spacious apartment with my child.